yeah, um, I'm going to proceed to our next, and yeah, we will get back to you on the second round. And I'm going to call on the next chair, which is Mr. Gwee, and yeah, he's celebrating also his birthday today.
Yeah.
Thank you
Happy
so
birthday
much.
to me.
Yes. Yeah, you may now read your first poem with us.
Yeah, thank you. The quick context is there's a poem written to a friend who is a migrant worker in Singapore, and he's also a very well-known writer in Singapore, Muhammad Sharifuddin. This poem is called Dear Sharif. And the context is it was written last year during the circuit breaker. Dear Sharif, when you look up at the sky, do not think of emptiness. Do not fill your heart with a hole. Do not let it cry into a promise that has not yet abandoned you. Your dream is still here and well, bold as the first time you got on the plane to come breathe my different air. That day you started to write a story for yourself, and those who love you fill you with their own dreams. You water my country with your tears. Do not think of loneliness. The boundless sky has yet to be swallowed up in all these years. Do not strand yourself in fear, beaten by the greatness of oceans and walls. I, like you, am also squared within walls, losing track of time, looking up to think of my love and my family, refusing for another night to drown in the oceans between countries, the oceans within the country. And I think of you, who have done this longer, and the sky opens inside me. We dwell here now together, though we refuse to believe it is ever the same sky for which God had meant us to live free. We shall make space for hope, draw the curtains to let love in. We shall imitate the clouds and be light. When we look up, let us not think of emptiness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Gwee. And yeah, that was, as I was reading your poem, it was really like, it's not only a message for Sharif, but I myself as a foreigner, as a migrant here in Singapore, that was a very meaningful message. And yeah, what made you write this for Sharif? And could you please share to us who is Sharif?
Sharif is a poet and a writer. I think he very famously wrote his biographies. Right now he has done 2 books already. And in this case, last year, do you remember this? About around April, there is this thing in Singapore we call the circuit breaker, which is really a lockdown. The government didn't want to call it a lockdown, but it really is that, right? And all of us are in our homes. And the only kind of a communication we have with others, it's on Facebook, on social media. And then I noticed that, Sharif's posts were getting very depressing. He sounded very sad, and I feel quite concerned for him. And this poem was written in that context. I couldn't do anything else. I wrote him a poem to share about not giving up on things, to be hopeful for a better day. And the thing that's quite cute is that his second book that came out, I got it here, it's called Stranger to My World, which he wrote about his experience currently with all this thing. Is that I went to the same date that I wrote this poem, and what he wrote in his dictionary, in his diary record, and it's I guess it was 16 or 17 April 2020, right? He's writing about, he also wrote another poem, and it's called The World in Four Walls. on that time. So it's quite interesting to kind of have another perspective on the exact same period.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir B, for sharing it with us. And yeah, we will go back to you on the second round. And now, may I call on